These motherfuckers fired Nick Cannon? Man, fuck them. What up, world? You know what time it is. We're gonna Durag News type of time. I'm your guy, Rich Freeman, with the scoop. Make sure y'all stay tuned so y'all know what the fuck is going on in the world. And today's episode, we got some real special news for you. Durag News is now streaming on Roku TV through QVision Network. So check us out on Roku. Hey, we're moving on up. Viacom, the parent company of MTV, has decided to part ways with the one and only Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is accused of anti-Semitic hate speech while speaking with Professor Griff on his podcast, Cannon's Class. In the podcast, he states that black people are the true Hebrews, that Jews have usurped their identity, and commented that those without dark skin have a deficiency and have acted as savages throughout history. He references Jewish people, white people, and Europeans. Check this out.
When you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion.
Well, it seems to me like throwing the label of anti-Semitic on a person is worse than cancel culture. We hear the term all the time, anti-Semitism. But what does the word really mean? According to Google, it means hostility or prejudice amongst Jews. So you're telling me that Nick Cannon lost his position because of hostility and prejudice towards Jews for comments about black people being the true Hebrews? That information has been supported by religious scholars and historians for years. And this shit doesn't make sense to me. What it looks like is another public whipping of a Nick Cannon to get in line and not to forget who's really running the show. Not once did he make an offensive remark on his podcast. He was speaking facts. But let's just say he did make an offensive remark. Firing someone for saying something you don't like and you don't agree with. I mean, if Viacom or other people, Jewish people, are really offended, I believe that they should come out and have proved Nick's theory to be wrong and debunk him, as opposed to just firing him and economically castrating him. What he said about black people being true Hebrews, I mean, come on. So you fired homie and didn't even say he was wrong in what he said. There's a whole deeper point here that black people don't have any major media outlets owned and controlled by blacks, where we can tell our side of the story and not have to worry about saying what massa wants us to say. You know, you always got to worry about being kept in check, and you can't step out of check or you're going to lose that funding. But this time Viacom fucked up and they got the right one. Nick topped on his Facebook and posted this: "I am deeply saddened in a moment so close to reconciliation that the powers that be misuse an important moment for us to all grow closer together and learn more about one another," he wrote. Instead, the moment was stolen and hijacked to make an example of an outspoken black man. Again, another example of when you say something out of line, they will check your ass and fire you and tell you gotta stick to the curb. Luckily for Nick Cannon, I suggest, man, there's so many different outlets that we can put all your content on, especially Wildin' Out. It's a great show, got a lot of great ratings. I think that we should look at networks or streaming services that allow us to speak freely about what's going on, how we feel, and our truths. And maybe Netflix would be a good place for Wildin' Out. I think that could work. What you think? Your favorite viral dancing app, TikTok, is back in the news for more privacy concerns here in the US. We reported on this months ago, but there are still concerns that TikTok is owned by ByteDance, and they could have some privacy and security concerns that we must address. Keep in mind, TikTok is a Chinese-owned company who has already been accused of censoring a video of a 17-year-old girl criticizing the Chinese government. So anybody talking against China negatively, you're gonna get your video pulled off TikTok. But that sounds familiar, right? That happens in the States. I do find it pretty ironic that the US government and Trump are pushing to ban the app from the US because of privacy concerns. But we do have American-owned companies, social media companies, who do the same thing. The main concern from the US government is that TikTok cannot be trusted to be an independent from Chinese Communist Party. And they could use TikTok as either a spying app or influence tools in other countries. Some folks against this ban believe that the government and other big tech companies are pushing for the ban of TikTok because they're getting millions of young people, a whole nother demographic that's competing with Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So it would be wise to try to get TikTok the fuck out of here while you can, before they get all the little kids and nobody's on Instagram or YouTube anymore. So is this whole ban on TikTok about protecting U.S. security and privacy, or protecting the cash flow of some of these big social media companies? It's too soon to tell, but I'll say this. Personally, I'm not against the ban of TikTok. I don't even use that shit, so it makes no difference to me. But on the other hand, in China, you know damn well they're not letting foreign companies come into China and get big like how TikTok got here in the United States. Take, for instance, you can't even use Instagram or Facebook in China. So fuck it. If you can't use Facebook and Instagram in China, I say we ban TikTok here in the States. It's only right. It's reciprocity. It's fair, right? No TikTok here, no Facebook and Instagram in China. Then again, I don't use the map, so it's not that big for me. But I digress. And it's time for us to check in with the homie Dick Johnson, who's hitting the streets and asking the people their thoughts on a question we still haven't found a legitimate answer to. Dick, what's going on, man?
What's good, everybody? Dick Johnson back out here again with another one. Today, we're in 14th Street, Union Square, and we were talking about black lives. A lot lately, we have seen police brutality and the injustice and killing of unarmed black people. But on the other side, we are also seeing killing of young, innocent black children by us and people who look like us. And sometimes that energy doesn't seem to be as loud when it comes up to these babies. So we want to see why that is. Let's get into it. A lot lately, we have seen black young children being killed. And I don't see the same energy when we see the children being killed when it comes to police brutality. Do you know why that is?
I can't explain that to you, but you're absolutely right. I heard a kid 1-year-old got killed in Brooklyn.
Yes.
My hometown.
Yes.
And I don't feel the same energy. You're absolutely right about that. I know what I feel. I feel that's messed up. I know I can't curse on camera. That's terrible. That's a question I need to address. I'm gonna talk that over with my father, because I know what I feel in my heart, but I don't see the same type of marches or demonstrations. I saw the police papers. The papers is the papers, but the energy is definitely. And I didn't think about that. You're right.
I trust police as far as I can throw them.
You're right about that, though. But that is something that, yeah.
You know, and I'm really asking that question because a lot of that, it's a very touchy subject for some people. But these children matter, and these are our future.
Yeah, I heard something on the radio. Forget about the guy in blue. What about the guy with the blue jeans that's doing the shooting? And I absolutely agree with you. I don't know whether this whole movement, they may have pushed the police back a little bit, so things are happening within the neighborhood, and we as people got to handle that ourselves.
That's right.
And it's not being done.
Coming from someone who lives on 142nd and Lenox in Harlem, born and raised, I'm a Dominican-Puerto Rican hybrid. I'm not a straight male. I'm a non-binary, bi-curious male. I really don't care who knows. I'm done hiding not even gonna hide my face anymore. I'm done hiding. I'm gonna be 43. These babies matter. I got my 2 nephews and my niece. I look out for them all the time with my sister. You know, she raising them, single mother. And we all live in the same house with mama. And they forgot the kids. What happened? Okay, they want to open up the schools, but now they want to open up a half staff, half full. And what's that going to do for the other half? That means the people who have are going to sit there and get their education, and people like my nephews aren't? That's not right. If we don't take care of our future now, the world will end sooner than it should. And you don't need an education to figure that out. Look at all this nonsense going on. Everybody's talking about Black Lives Matter. Yes, Black lives do matter. I don't let the skin tone fool you, Papa. Dominicans are black. And my mother's side of the family, they're all Dominican, they're all dark. The babies matter. Take care of the children, because the children will take care of the adults later on in life. My mom took care of 6 of us. There's 3 of us right now taking care of her. If that doesn't prove that point, nothing will. But you did make a good point. The babies, kids, they matter.
The Black Lives Matter movement started over police brutality and systematic racism in the justice system. I'm sure that the people involved, like myself, are just as upset about black people killing black people in black neighborhoods. The easiest way to solve that is to get rid of the racism. When people use comments like black on black crime, they don't think that in the 1920s it was Italian on Italian crime, which created the mafia. It was Irish on Irish crime. It was Jewish on Jewish crime. These people were allowed to move out of the ghettos, out of the neighborhoods they were into neighborhoods where they could thrive. When we did that, people came in and burnt our towns down. For example, Tulsa.
That's right.
And this is the problem with messaging. It's very easy on the right to make everything black and white. Well, you're complaining about police brutality. Why don't you clean up your neighborhood? It's very hard to clean up your neighborhood when a 15-year-old black child is stopped by the police for the 15th time and decides to get angry at the police, ends up with a record, and now cannot get a job. Black people are just as upset about shootings in their neighborhoods, and they want that solved. But they also want to have the right to leave that neighborhood and go live somewhere else and not become a stockbroker, going to the gym in your building and having someone question that you live there, or watching birds in a park and telling someone that they can't have their dog loose because the dog will chase down the birds and kill them. And the woman turns around, calls up the police and says she's being threatened by an Afro-American. Or jogging in a neighborhood and being chased down with guns because you're not supposed to be there. We see all of these videos, and yet everyone is saying, what about black on black crime? When it's not black on black crime, it's poor people killing other poor people. It's just that more of the neighborhoods are black.
You're going to have a flash of this happening, then everybody goes on this bandwagon, not really understanding what's behind the scene.
Oh, and I know there's somebody behind them curtains pulling them strings. I definitely know that.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it's not even following the yellow brick road anymore.
No,
it's
not at all.
following the white road. I'm sorry to say that, guys, but you know, you got to get off that white road and make your own roads for yourself.
That is why we are out here. I love how you said worldwide. This is Tan Clan Multimedia, Durag News. We are the news for the people. We're the people. We're bringing you this. This is why I'm out here, because we don't have many outlets like this, and I'm going to do my job, and I want to do it right, and I want to do it justice.
Give you a gem. A gem is all you need to do is make 1.5% on your money. You don't need to go to the stock market. If you make $2,000 a month, 10% of that is what? $200, right? 1.5% is probably like $30. All right, if you take that $30, all right, from that first month, that's 1.5%. You add it to your next paycheck and take out 1.5% for 12 months. You're doing over 17% on your money. So if you're doing $2,000 a month times 12, that's 24, right? That's 24. So if it's 24, 17% of that is what your appreciation is just from your money without stock.
Wow.
You understand?
Yes, yes.
That's how stock is traded. I don't understand. I don't care about what everybody else is saying. Oh, buy this, buy that. No, it's about your money. That's it. It's that simple.
Wow.
All right, guys?
Thank you.
More power.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Go ahead. Let watch him fall low. Go ahead. Fall low. Go ahead. Do your thing. That's right. All right, yo. And yo, keep that rolling. And that's what we call a wrap. Another bang, boogie, and bump with Dick Johnson. Out here rapping my own threads. If you haven't noticed, I'm rocking my shit right now. Up and out. If you don't know, get to know. It was a deep conversation, very touchy. And that's why we're out here, because we're trying to figure this out. We want to be able to keep that same energy and really keep that same vibration when it's needed. There's a lot going on, a whole bunch of division always. But together we will rise and stand firm. I know that sounds so old, that sounds like a Martin Luther King line, but I do believe that, and it is the information that we have. Once we have information, we apply it, things do change. But that's it. It's nice out here. I'm about to take this damn mask off my face. Gonna have me pass out out here. Hot, but you know, I love the sun. Like, the sun is doing me right. So, till we meet again.
This is such a tragic reality, having to worry about police brutality and still losing the lives of kids due to street violence. We all know we're fed up with it. I mean, how much more are we going to hear about this? Here in Durag News, we got to keep this conversation going because that question must be answered and resolved. Thanks, Dick. Keep laying your game down in them streets. Ghislaine Maxwell pleaded not guilty to claims that she assisted, facilitated, and contributed to Jeffrey Epstein's abuse of minor girls by helping Epstein to recruit, groom, and abuse these girls. Recently, she had a hearing in Brooklyn where she was denied bail and considered a flight risk. This woman is a sex offender and a pedophile. Let's get that clear. Let's stop calling her a British socialite and call it what it is. This bitch is a pedophile. I know when we think of the word pedophile, we imagine a creepy man with a thick-ass mustache trying to mess with some kids. But women can be pedophiles too. Not only is Ghislaine a pedophile, but we don't know where the hell she's getting her money from. She has international ties and dozens of accounts with millions all around the world. Her rich father is dead because of all the bullshit that he was in. So how is she able to afford this expensive lifestyle and continue to run the biggest sex trafficking ring for the elite class and abuse underage girls and women at their expense? This case is opening up a can of worms, and to all the elite billionaire motherfuckers out there into sex trafficking women and kids, that shit is coming to an end. We're shedding light on y'all motherfuckers. 2020 has been a hell of a year so far. We got coronavirus, protest, high unemployment. Police brutality has been on the main line. It's election year, you know, rappers getting clapped left and right. And I say all of that to say this. I won't be surprised if a lot of well-respected folks get tied into this Ghislaine Maxwell case. Nothing surprises me anymore. We don't really know these motherfuckers like that. These celebrities, you think you know them, but you really don't. You just know what they look like on the outside. At this time, I won't be surprised if we hear that some big entertainers are all in on this child sex trafficking, torture, and sacrificing of kids. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy. But if you would have told me that last year, 2020, would have been this crazy, I wouldn't have believed you, and here we are. It's a damn shame. Here on the show today, we have a special guest. This woman has all sorts of knowledge and information for artists and people who want to get in the music and entertainment industry. Everyone, say what's up to Tiff Castillo with Trademark Talent. Tiff, what's going on?
I am doing great. We just wrapped up our second day of shooting for the festival. We just had legendary Carolyn Williams. She is a huge disco star from the past. So we were so excited to have her in office and performing live. It was honestly unbelievable.
That's amazing that you're still staying active. You know, we spoke about this months ago last time we had you on the show, and it's great to see that it's coming to fruition from talk to action. And now we got a live stream concert. It's dope that you got some great acts though. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm definitely going to be tuned in, and we're affiliated. So it's amazing. So last time that we had that conversation, the topic of discussion was about artists and how artists can stay engaged, be relative, and create income for themselves during this time of COVID. I kind of would like to bring it back to that. If there's any new things that's going on that you could suggest to people, or like talk to people about how they can, you know, directly link with you and stay relevant and provide some income for themselves as an artist now.
And this is what this festival is all about. After that conversation, we've been working overtime to ensure that we created a platform for artists to monetize. And, let's be honest here, venues, restaurants, anywhere that any type of entertainment's at, they're only operating at 25%. Artists are not going to be making the same amount of money there are because there's not the same generation of cash. So we came around, obviously I partnered up with Chris Patty. You were at our studio once before. I believe Durag News was filmed one episode in Indie Music Studios.
Oh, we shot stuff over there. Yes.
So we partnered up with Chris Patty, who owns a sister brand to Indie called iConcert TV. And iConcert TV is the first and only live streaming platform where artists can obtain 100% of their proceeds. So there's no third party. We don't keep any percentage, nothing of that sort. We have the artist in mind. Like I said, I make 100% of my income in the entertainment industry. So we wanted to make sure that it was important that artists can really, use this platform for themselves, not only to showcase their talent, but to also make money. So we created Keep 6 Feet Festival. It's going to be on July 25th. We have over 75 music artists. There's over 20 DJs, and it was completely free for the artists to sign up. We have a sponsored studio at Elite Sound Stage in West Babylon, which is like our portal studio where we're going to be following CDC guidelines, where artists are going to be, recording and being safely swifted in and out. A lot of other artists that maybe not live on Long Island, or maybe unfortunately have been affected by COVID, they're going to be performing from the safety of their own home. And it was free. It's free tickets to get online. You can get free tickets on www.keep6feet.com. And the only thing that we ask is that you tip and donate to your favorite artist performing.
Everybody from artists to vendors, sponsors, advertisers, and even yourself. It's great that you guys can create something that can create revenue and income for artists. I mean, I know you said that that artists are making 100%. Not that you have to get specifically into it, but like, how are you able to create something that artists can get 100% and it's still like not affect your bottom line, where you guys are still sustainable? Like, what is it in that your blueprint or your system that makes it easy for artists to 100% make money?
Of course, well, definitely through sponsorship. And, I have to thank, Connoisseur Media. They gave us a huge marketing grant. Dave Saul, one of the best PR agents on Long Island, which is a Marketing Masters. Hip Hop Weekly just came out today with a huge article on us. All Access. The Patch, and we didn't even get into the the local news stations, because that's what we're going to kind of be using for the last week of promotions. But we had some awesome marketing packages for businesses, and that is really how we were monetizing. You know what I mean? Utilizing indie music TV for different businesses to advertise on. Same thing with iConcert TV, and also all these different publications and radio stations and TV channels that came in, and like Durag News to come and support us, and we're able to return, able to promote other businesses through those channels, which is awesome. And that's how we've been monetizing on our end.
You've always been innovative, so again, I'm going to keep saying you got our support. Anything that we can do to promote and big up what you got going on, phone call away. Is there anything else that you want to leave with the people before we go, whether it's some more advice for artists or just even something in general? Anything else that you want to leave the people with?
Sitting down with Carol Williams, and we were having a beautiful conversation about how times are changing. And I want to say to artists that now is not the time to be discouraged. Now is not the time to be egotistical. Now is not the time to be worried about your pockets, but it's a time to be innovative and to keep yourself relevant. Times are changing, and there's nothing that we could do about it. Your worth, not taking away from your worth, but what you used to get paid, it's going to be hard to still make. And I think that it's time for a lot of these artists to be accepting of these new times and to take advantage of these new times and to really push forth on a new wave of entertainment. Get innovative, get creative, be inspired. I could have sat there and been very upset because, like I said, my only money that is coming in is from the entertainment industry, and it was extremely depressing. But I channeled my energy into being ahead of the times, and I think that that's what's most important now. And utilize your art, utilize your talent to do good and to bless other people. Because if you're bottling in your talent and waiting for your time to break or waiting for the world to get back to normal, we don't know when that chance is going to be. So I think that now is the time to really, take that time. And also, please get your free tickets if you're watching. It's all free. Get your free tickets on www.keep6feet.com. Our full lineup is on our website. You can make donations on our GoFundMe. You can also make donations on our website. And tune in, and please donate to your favorite artist, because this is what they're relying on. to live. You know, this is a lot of these artists' only job. So we purposely didn't pick anybody that does this as a, you know, as talent. We purposely pick people that do this for a living.
Thank you, Tiff. It's always amazing having a conversation with you.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you for having me on. You know, this is my favorite show.
Yes, for sure. And we got to link up soon. We'll link up soon, chop it up, and just talk more. Every time we talk, it's always lovely. Now, we normally don't get into celeb drama here on Durag News, but this one hits differently. I'm sure we all heard about the Jaden August entanglement, and it has some people split on what the fuck entanglement means.
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
I had no idea that entanglement was the word explaining that you messed with somebody. It's like the nice way of saying I cheated. Like if your girl asked you about another chick you've been with, you can say it was an entanglement, and now you're the victim because it was a complicated situation. So you were entangled. So now you can play victim. That's a good move. But this reminds me of a love and hip-hop storyline. Throughout this week's episode of Entanglement in R&B, Jada and Will spoke real candid about the situation and let the world know that they don't have the marriage that the world thought they had. But honestly, who does? It's real life. I don't give a fuck how famous you are. You got your infidelities and insecurities going on too. Let's stop putting these folks on a high pedestal because they can act and they got money. Nigga, so what? At the same time, I do respect them to airing out their business for the world. That takes balls and courage. But the person that was hurt the most from all this was August. They kept emphasizing how sick he was. He was
Really sick.
When they met him and he was at a low point in his life. So if you really think about it, Jada took advantage of an unstable person, got her nut off, and dipped on this nigga. Celebrities and people in high positions do this shit all the time. I mean, take advantage of a person that's weak and kick them to the curb when they're done and they got their nut. It might not seem like that at first because it's Jada Pinkett and she's fine as hell. And for the record, I would let Jada Pinkett take advantage of me. Any day. I get it. But we got to call a spade a spade. And when we see this going on, we can't act like we don't see it going on. And that's the motherfucking wrap. I'm your host, Rich Freeman, and this is Durag News. Thank you for all the tuning in every week. Our job is to keep you informed and educated on what is going on in this world. Keep liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel so we can grow. Keep supporting us, and we will support you. And remember, keep that Durag energy.